Put on noise-canceling headphones. Turn off the music. Sit in a dark room and close your eyes. What do you experience? Nothing. A quiet, peaceful void. In the modern world, silence is a luxury. We pay for it. We build soundproof walls to get away from the noise. If you are born deaf today, you have sign language, vibrating alarms, subtitles, and a society built to accommodate you. But let's rewind the clock. Take away the walls. Take away the city. Go back 50,000 years into the Pleistocene. In that world, silence was not peaceful. Silence was the most dangerous thing on the planet. Why? Because 50,000 years ago, your ears were your primary radar system. Human eyesight is terrible in the dark. We cannot see like cats. We cannot smell like wolves. Our only defense against a world that wanted to eat us was our ability to hear it coming. The snap of a dry twig under a heavy paw. The low, guttural breathing of a cave lion hidden in the tall grass. The sudden shift in the wind. Sound was the invisible shield that kept our ancestors alive. So, what happened if you were born without that shield? What happened if you were born deaf 50,000 years ago? The nightmare begins the moment you step out of the cave. Imagine living every single day of your life inside a silent horror movie. You are standing in a dense prehistoric forest. To everyone else, the forest is loud. Birds are warning each other about a predator. Monkeys are screaming. The brush is rustling. The environment is screaming, "Danger is here!" But to you, it is just trees. You cannot hear the warning signs. You can only see what is directly in front of you. And in the ancient world, the thing that kills you is almost always the thing you do not see. You are foraging for berries. You don't realize a giant 300-pound prehistoric hyena is slowly creeping up behind you. It steps on a branch. Crack! Every other member of your tribe hears it and scrambles up a tree. But you are still picking berries. You only realize something is wrong when you turn around and see the jaws opening. To survive, a deaf ancient human had to develop extreme, exhausting paranoia. Without sound, you have to manually check your surroundings every few seconds. Look left, look right, look behind you. Your neck constantly aches. Your brain is in a permanent state of hypervigilance, processing visual data at a terrifying speed because it has no audio backup. You learn to survive by watching your tribe. You become a master at reading body language. If the hunter next to you suddenly goes rigid, you stop moving. If their eyes widen in terror, you don't look back. You just run. You survive by outsourcing your hearing to the people around you. But the real terror is the night. When the sun goes down, visual data drops to zero. For a hearing person, the night is scary, but they can still listen to the perimeter. For a deaf person, the night is an absolute, suffocating black box. You are sitting by the campfire. You cannot hear the crackle of the flames. You look out into the darkness, and it is a solid wall of black. You cannot hear the wolves howling in the distance. You cannot hear the footsteps circling the camp. Your only warning system is vibration. You have to press your hands or your bare feet against the cold dirt, desperately trying to feel the rhythmic thud of a massive animal walking toward you. But by the time you feel the ground shaking, the predator is already too close. The monster is already inside the camp. In a world this brutal, you would assume a deaf person would be instantly abandoned. Evolution is cruel. A tribe cannot afford dead weight. A hunter who cannot hear a command is a liability. A gatherer who cannot hear a rattlesnake is a tragedy waiting to happen. The logic of the Ice Age says that the weakest link must be left behind to save the rest. But this is where the story takes a massive, incredible twist. A twist that changes everything we know about who we are. In 1957, archaeologists exploring the Shanidar Cave in Iraq found the bones of a Neanderthal man. They named him Shanidar I. He lived around 45,000 years ago. When scientists examined his skull, they found something shocking. He had suffered a massive blow to the head early in life,
crushing his eye socket and leaving him partially or completely blind in one eye. But it also damaged his ear canal. Shanidar I was profoundly deaf. And that is not all. He had a withered, amputated right arm. He had a crippling leg injury that gave him a severe limp. By all the rules of nature, Shanidar I should have died in his 20s. A deaf, half-blind, crippled man cannot hunt mammoths. He cannot fight off a cave bear. He cannot run from a pack of wolves. But Shanidar I did not die young. The bones revealed an impossible truth. He lived to be around 50 years old. In the brutal world of the Pleistocene, 50 is an old man.
How did a deaf, severely disabled man survive for decades in the most dangerous environment in human history? The answer is the most powerful survival tool ever invented: empathy. He didn't survive because he was the fittest. He survived because his tribe decided he was worth saving. When he couldn't hear the predators, they became his ears. When he couldn't walk fast, they slowed down. When he couldn't hunt, they shared their meat with him. They chewed his food when his teeth wore down. They kept him by the fire. They protected him in the dark. Being born deaf 50,000 years ago was a terrifying, paranoid, silent struggle against a world of monsters. It meant you were vulnerable to every shadow. It meant you lived your entire life one missed signal away from a violent death. But the fact that deaf humans survived, the fact that Shanidar I lived to see old age, proves something amazing. Our ancestors were not just mindless, brutal savages killing each other in the dark. They were humans. And the reason we conquered the planet wasn't because of our sharp spears or our big brains. It was because when the night came and the monsters were circling in the dark, we did not let each other face the silence alone.